microphone. Am I all right in the back? Right? Okay. Sounds like I've got an open front. It looks like church. I wasn't going to call on anybody, so you didn't need to be afraid to come up to the front. First off, I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. This is obviously the first of two meetings that we are going to have tonight and tomorrow in preparation for the meeting next Wednesday, December 9th at 7 p.m. Got a little brief presentation here, 12 to 15 minutes, give or take, at which point we'll open it up for some questions and answers. And we'd appreciate if we could hold those questions until the end so I could kind of get through this, and we'll have plenty of time to go through that. First off, started with this slide. I was reading an article today and came across this. I thought it was fairly fitting today. I thought I had the presentation done, but then had to add this in. Phil Newman's a partner with McGladrey that does a lot of work, especially down in Florida, in the private club business. And basically, Phil Newman said that, as we consider our club facilities, first-class facilities are non-negotiable. Clubs need to have them. That is what's happening in the marketplace today as it's become much more competitive, and really that's not something we can skimp on, and those are the things that we're talking about tonight. Again, briefly, we'll go through a little background information, talk about the Phase 1 proposal that hopefully everybody had a chance to see, that I know we've emailed and regular mail to everybody, and then we'll do the questions and the answers. First off, a little background. I know most everybody knows this already, but it's worth going through again. 2013, our board of directors approved and engaging Brian Silva for a golf course plan. Put together a long-term plan for the golf course. In early 14, our house committee got together and said that we need to have a plan for our facilities as well. And kind of both of those plans were presented late summer, early fall last year in various forms. Pictures around the club, pictures in the stag, some placemats and everything else. As I kind of came on board, I guess late October, I've been here a year already, time flies when you're having a good time. We really kind of had to figure out how to put these plans together. How do we get them in front of the membership? How do we present them? And how do we get the membership support on them? So in early January, Frank Van of the Man Group came and gave us a first impressions report, presented that to the board in late January, and the board decided to engage the Man Group to get us through this process. We had a planning committee that was put together. I've seen some of the faces in this room tonight that were on that planning committee, and they put a lot of hard work and effort into this in a very short time frame. Usually when McMahon Group comes in, this is about an 18 to 24 month time frame before they even get it in front of the membership, and we knew we needed to get moving, so we sped that up, and we're able to put a plan in front of the membership. June 2015, we had a couple of meetings that were not as well attended as tonight, so again, thank you for being here tonight. And got some feedback from those meetings, went back, put a survey together, sent it out to all the members, and we had great response. I think we were somewhere in the 66 to 67% response range, which for a survey in the country club is unheard of. Typically anything over 50% is a good number. McMahon Group sent us the results. We sent those to all the membership. The boards looked at them, staff has looked at them. And that brings us to November 2015, where the board proposes the Phase 1 of the Facilities Improvement Program, and we're scheduled to vote on that again on next Wednesday. Well, why are we here? Why are we here today? Clubs are evolving. The history of clubs moving like dinosaurs is well in our past. Clubs need to be swift, agile, just like businesses are today, and move forward. One thing you'll notice on this is that this is kind of how members are beginning to use their club in today's world. This survey is still 4 years old, but it fits today. You can see on the middle column is the percentage of clubs that have increased usage in each of those items on the left column. Clubs on the right are clubs with decreased usage. The good thing is for Brookside on the golf rounds, we've stayed stagnant. We haven't grown, we haven't lost. So that is something that's not happening in the golf business today. Most clubs are down. So for us to still be maintaining is a good thing. Fitness use is up, tennis play is up, swimming is up, child camps is up. And I think those are fairly relevant here as well. I think we fit those, maybe not to those percentages, but we are there. I was at a seminar earlier this spring, and somebody asked a question that said, do you play more golf rounds at your club or have more visits to the fitness facility? That was a really good question. We're about right on. Both have about 22,000. So, it's still an active fitness facility. Where are clubs headed in the future? The marketplace is very competitive. We've seen that in Columbus. We've had a couple clubs shut down here in the very near future. not only are clubs closing, but what you're going to see is that there's going to be a greater gap between the great clubs and the middle tier clubs. There's going to be much more distance between those two clubs because the clubs that are doing it right, doing what members want, are going to be the clubs that grow. The clubs that are struggling are going to continue to struggle, unfortunately. What we're seeing at clubs and food and beverage is that formal dining is gone. It is almost non-existent. The white tablecloth stuffiness of clubs is still relevant in a few places around the country, but not. It's just not there anymore. So we're thinking that food and beverage is obviously going to the casual, upscale, in and out, more like you'd see at competitive places here in town. Again, recreation, golf's going to remain core, but those other items, fitness, child camps, tennis, those things are going to grow, and we need to address those as well. And then facilities, obviously easy access to premier physical environment. Members have often asked me about facilities, and I say, when you travel, do you stay at nice hotels that have been newly built or renovated? And the answer is typically yes. Or do you stay in a hotel that has not been touched and nothing's been done to it for years? So, club members are looking for renovated facilities. Members and prospective members want a lot of the same things. They want a friendly club environment. I think we've got a great, fantastic club here. It's friendly. One of the things that we're known for when I first got here is how friendly this place is. We've already got that. Quality golf. Again, we've got a great golf course. We're still gonna put an emphasis on golf. I keep saying that is that the numbers show differently in the club world, but we're still going to maintain our focus on golf. We want casual drop-in places, health and wellness. We're ahead of the curve on health and wellness. This club did a great job in, I think, 1999 in building today's fitness center. That was probably about 8 to 9 years ahead of when everybody else started thinking about fitness and club business. So we're well ahead of that and positioned great because of that. Club members want year-round use and outdoor venues as well. Now, with that being said, how do we maintain ourselves and or grow? Again, the club business is evolving and we need to evolve with it. People are still joining clubs. Contrary to what is out there, is people are no longer joining clubs. That's far from the truth. I was at Detroit Athletic Club about 2 weeks ago at a seminar, and they've got 4,500 members today, and we're talking Detroit, which has seen the heart of the recession. They had 3,300 members in 2008. So people are still joining clubs for the associational benefits. People still want to hang around with their friends, and where do they do that? They go to the club. So people are still joining. The big key is as long as it fits their lifestyles. Obviously, lifestyles have changed. I know my lifestyle has changed having a kid. I don't have time to do the things I want to do. And as a club, we need to adapt to be able to make sure that we're fitting the needs of our members' lifestyle. Talk about the social aspect. I mentioned it before. People want to be around friends. Everybody sits in this room. I would gather to say that most of your best friends are probably currently at this club, or a good majority of them. You want to associate with those people, and people still join clubs because of that. Brookside needs to appeal to a broad spectrum of members. We've done a pretty good job of that. We need to do a little tweaking. But for the most part, we kind of need to be a little bit of everything to everybody. And that's what you're finding in the club business today. And then lastly, we must invest in our club to align us with the future for the things that we talked about. We need to, clubs are like money, clubs are like businesses, and we need to spend money and invest in ourselves. That'll give us great return for the future. So the committee looked at really these 4 or 5 main planning goals when we started to look at this long-term plan. We wanted to be able to provide funds to do some essential repairs. Obviously, we've got some repairs that need to be done on the golf course, the facilities. Years of not having initiation fees has caused most clubs in the country to have to defer some maintenance, and we need to catch up. One of the goals in presenting this is that once it hopefully gets passed, we can present the essential repairs, get them done, and get caught up to where we're not having to play catch up year after year after year. The goal was to get us to a spot where we can keep up and maintain moving forward. Obviously, we want to maintain our position as one of Ohio's premier country clubs. We think that we rank right up there with the best of them, and we need to continue to maintain that. We need to inspire our members to be proud to bring guests. We want you to be able to to really puff your chest out and say, why don't you come to Brookside? It's a fantastic place to be. And then we've just got to better, have facilities that better serve our current members and attract new. I'm going to continue to say attract new members, but really the process of this whole planning program was to do things that our members would enjoy for the benefit of our members, and the byproduct of that would be excitement, new membership, etc. The big question is why now? Well, there's never a good time to do a capital plan, let's face it. Those are always difficult decisions to make. There's never a good time, and we need to start moving this club forward. We need to do these to help improve our member experience. Obviously, as you've seen it, the building is aged, and it's really not at the state that's expected of a first-class country club. Our marketplace is driving us to make some decisions too. Again, we're probably in one of the most competitive marketplaces for country clubs in the country. And as of today, we're falling a little bit behind our competition in what they're doing with facilities. We've had some slight membership declines over the past 3 or 4 years. And, fewer members paying more is not really a successful model for the club business. Unfortunately, I've been at a club that tried to do that, and it doesn't tend to work out. So now's a good time to introduce some things to the club, make our facilities better, and make some improvements for the future. And lastly, project costs right now, well, we're seeing low interest rates. We continue to see low interest rates. Eventually, those are going to rise, and we might as well act sooner than later to reap those benefits. Hopefully, as everybody has seen, we put the plan into really kind of 3 phases. Excuse me. Phase 1, projects were based on the survey that had strong member support with clearly defined needs and solutions. Those were the things that we thought that the members supported. We could go back to the membership and say, you all think that these are important things to do, let's move forward with them. Phase 2 projects had what we would consider reasonable member support, but obviously less than phase 1. The concepts really need work on. We need to get more consensus to build some support to get to the level of phase 1. And timing of those projects are going to be dependent on completion of phase 1 projects, along with funding and other considerations. And then phase 3 projects were limited member support. But right now, we still feel that they need to be on the list in case we need to act on them in the future. We're not going to actively plan for these things, but we want to be ready in case the opportunity would present itself. In proposed phase 1, we're looking to spend $2.25 million. We want to spend that money on building a new casual pub, dining area, bar for our membership. We want to spend that money on dining room renovations, the 2 rooms that we currently have. We want to basically take everything from the entry to this ballroom through the dining room and get it renovated. So everything in red carpet in the foyer, the living room, the bathrooms, all those areas are important as well. And then we put the essential repairs in there, which we think are very important to, again, get us caught up and back to where we need to be. Now, let's talk about the fun stuff. Everybody wants to talk about numbers. The thing I want everybody to notice is preliminary. We had 3 different folks look at this, and all 3 came back right in that realm. McMahon Group has done a good job in their business of putting what are called probable costs together. And I would say that they are pretty well spot on with their probable cost, or they would not be in business if they told somebody a plan would be $2 million and it came in at $3 million. So we work with them. We work with a couple contractors and an architect in town, and we feel that these numbers, again, are probable. They're not set in stone, as we've not had drawings made or done any of those things. But again, we think they're close. You can see the pub. We've broken these down into construction, FF&E, soft cost, contingency, and totals. On the pub itself, you've got $560 in construction, $143 FF&E, $84 in soft cost, $106 in contingency, for a total of $893. I'm not going to run through all of these. I think everybody in the back can see those numbers, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay. The pool deck repair we've put in at $1,000 or $100,000, and then the essential repairs at $619. That gets us to the total of $225 or $2.25. I'm sorry. What's included in the essential repairs? That's a great question. We've got a number of things. On the clubhouse, we want to work on the roof. we need to do some HVAC upgrades to our temperature controls. Right now we're running on a computer system that's much older than it needs to be, and we have a hard time kind of maintaining temperatures. We need to work on some drainage and some plumbing upgrades. On the athletic side, tennis and pool, the roof needs work over there as well. That building needs painted. We've got some drainage issues, and then we're also in need of a pool filter. That's kind of on its last leg, and it needs an upgrade. Miscellaneous items, pro shop roof. You're going to see a lot of roofs here. A lot of roofs haven't been touched here in numerous years. Pro shop roof, treehouse roof. Our parking lot is in need of being redone. We've got some windows in the doors in the clubhouse. That's about, we had a quote on the windows. All the windows on this property quoted out at just under $200,000. So it's not every single window. It's going to be the ones that we need done. We've got some doors, especially as you walk through these doors in this ballroom. They're starting to rot, and we need to replace those. Roof at the maintenance building needs done. And then on the golf course, we know that golf course needs to be maintained. We maintain that golf course each and every year, but we think that these things will help get us caught up as well. We've got some cart path improvements, dredging of the pond on number 12, some green drainage, and then some miscellaneous projects. As you can see, we put a few pictures together, and again, don't get stuck on the pictures or the specifics. These are just some possible things that we could do. Our nice pub area, as we've called it, that walks out towards the patio onto 18. We've got some high-top tables, and that's one thing we're really missing from a social aspect is high-top tables. At my last club, we renovated a bar area, did about half high-tops and half normal tables, and about 1 week in which we had done all high-tops. It just seems like everybody wants to sit on those. Again, this is a kind of a representation of the two dining spaces from the men's locker room door. Looking out, we've got some nice windows, nice open look. Creates, again, a nice social space for members to gather and eat. Funding. Talk briefly about the funding proposal. I think hopefully everybody's had a chance to look at that. And I was talking with Mr. Crossway on the way in here, and he had some questions about this. And there were a lot of ways that we could have funded this. We could have asked for upfront money. We could have done it all monthly. We could have done one annual payment each year. And we really sat down and looked at it from a prospective member's standpoint, from a marketing standpoint. When members come in, when members are shopping clubs, they always look at what's it cost me monthly to get into the club. Dues, capital, other things. They don't ever look at bag room storage, locker fees, all those extra tack-ons. Those just kind of come along with it. So we thought, if you take the $25 a month and the $300 a year, monthly that's $50, $600 a year. At $50, we thought we were kind of, from a prospective member standpoint, we were really kind of pricing ourselves higher than we wanted to be when somebody came in and said, hey, what's it cost me to join Brookside? So we said, let's raise it $25 a month, which from a marketing perspective fits what we were looking at. And then we could do that one annual payment that's billed in January of each year. So it keeps us competitive in the marketplace and gets the dollars that we need to be able to get the project done. One of the things that the McMahon Group told us when we started working on this is that you don't want to get close to a 20% increase. Anytime you get close to a 20% monthly increase, support is going to go down very quickly. So we really kind of looked at that $50 a month number as we've been through this plan, really kind of from the beginning. I've had quite a few members come up to me in the last couple of weeks. Why should I vote yes? We feel that these experiences are going to improve our member, or these renovations are going to improve our member experience. Somebody the other day was fighting at the table. They didn't agree with what we were doing, and somebody actually said, well, do you think when it's done it's going to be great? And the guy that was disagreeing with everything said, well, absolutely, it's going to be great. So the things we're going to do are going to be great. The club is going to be better for it. We want to have a fun, casual club for a place for everybody to gather and socialize. That's really one of the things you like. You see it here on a Friday night when everybody comes in and they stay at the bar for one drink and people are trying to eat and everybody scatters and the night's over. we don't really have a good spot for our members to come down, sit, have a drink, talk, and enjoy themselves. We want to have an enhanced dining ambiance. Right now, I don't think we fit the bill for what prospective members are looking for. Prospective members are 35 to 45 years old, and I don't think we fit that bill currently. The enjoyable pool experience, I think anybody that's been out to the pool can understand that one. And we're going to touch a lot of areas of the club, from golf to athletics to dining. Everybody eats, so we're really kind of touching everybody. We really need to get this project started. Again, we're kind of falling behind the competition. We need to get moving, and we need to get moving quickly. Any delay in this right now is going to add another year at a minimum onto what we're trying to do. Again, it's going to make the club stronger for the future. We're going to keep hitting on that retain members and bring in perspectives. Essential repairs have to get done. Those things have been waiting probably 3 or 4 years, some of them, to get done, and we need to move forward on those. And it's really our responsibility to invest in our future. We're kind of responsible. The folks sitting in this room are responsible for the future of this club moving forward, just as the folks who are sitting in this room were responsible for being ahead of the curve with the athletic facility in '99. So it's really kind of our duty to help move this club in a positive direction. If we get this approved next week, what are the next steps? We want to get started on those essential repairs as soon as we can. Those can't wait any longer. Obviously, some of those are weather dependent, but we've done a lot of the legwork up front, so we can get moving on those fairly quickly. Obviously, the next step would be to engage an architect for design drawings and bids. We want to get that process started. We've got to engage the bank in financing. We have talked with a couple banks, and as stated in the resolution, we still have to get financing on that. Banks really want to see how the vote turns out before they commit to financing. So once we know what happens next Wednesday, we'll start putting our RFPs together to get the financing started. And we'd start construction and renovation obviously as soon as we can, but we think that's probably late fall of 16, just from a planning standpoint.